everybody, thank you for coming today. Today I'm going to show you how to make a pumpkin pie. Everybody loves pumpkin pie. Personally, it's one of my favorites. I love the fall. It's a really easy to make dessert. You get like some kind of pride when you make a pumpkin pie yourself because it's just a little bit better than a store-bought pie, and people know you put effort into it. So I want to show you the ingredients for making pumpkin pie. You need a pie crust. I get mine pre-made. I just think it's easier. I know people make their own, but this is just simpler. You need a little bit of salt, some granulated sugar, cinnamon, 2 eggs, ground cloves, and I like to add pumpkin pie spice. Some people use clove, but I think that it adds a little bit too much heat to the pie. So to begin to make your pumpkin pie, you want to, don't forget to set the oven to 425 degrees. And also you need to put on an apron. Once you put your apron on, you can make sure your hair is tied back. That way no hair falls into your food that you're making. And then you want to wash your hands to make sure everything is sanitary. Okay, so now we can prepare the pie. The first step I like to do is I take 3/4 cup of granulated sugar and I mix that into a small bowl. Then you'll take a teaspoon of cinnamon. You might think you need to add a lot of spice, but you really don't need that much spice for your pie. A 1/2 teaspoon of clove. Just eyeball it a little bit. I like to put some pumpkin spice in my pie. And then also it's important not to forget to add a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. You kind of like gently mix up these ingredients here. It doesn't need to be so mixed up because you'll mix it up all again in the big bowl. Dump this into a larger bowl, and then you crack 2 eggs into the larger bowl. I like to crack my eggs flat so that it you get less like shards of eggs in your mixture. You mix everything up. It's good to get this mixture mixed up before you start to add your pumpkin puree. I got Libby's pumpkin puree, but you can get any brand that you want. It really doesn't make a difference. Some people like to use organic, but that's just personal preference. I like to use a fork to kind of like get this puree out of here because it is kind of thick. And then you're going to mix that in. The next part is kind of important to remember because you need to stir in the evaporated milk slowly. Otherwise, it just doesn't combine right. So you're going to slowly add that in. You're also going to want to shake the evaporated milk first before you add it into your mixture. I've noticed when I make this pie often that it does seem a little liquidy, but you don't have to worry about that because it will condense once it cooks. Everybody in my family loves this pie. I get rave reviews about it, so I definitely suggest it as an easy recipe to impress your family members during the holidays. Once you have this all mixed up thoroughly, you can start to pour it into your pie crust, but it's important to do it slowly because, like I said, it's kind of liquidy. And just try to use a pan so that way there's no dripping in the oven. As you can see, that's like very liquidy, so don't get nervous, that's completely normal. You just guard your bowl into your sink. And you're gonna put on some oven mitts and then get ready to put your pie into the oven. Your pie set at 425 degrees. You're gonna set that for 15 minutes. I like to use my timer on my oven, that way I don't forget. And then after that 15 minutes, you reduce the heat to 325 degrees for 40 minutes. In my oven, it does take a little bit longer, so I usually do 50 minutes, but for most ovens, it takes about 40 minutes. Just like any other cooking show, I have a pre-made homemade pumpkin pie for you to enjoy. And the only thing you have to do next is just slice and enjoy your pie. Does anybody have any questions?
Your pie crust, is that just a typical graham cracker crust?
So I bought mine from the store, but if you wanted to make yours at home, you could just take regular graham cracker, crunch it up with some butter, and then whip it up and kind of plaster it to the shell of the pie. But then to get it to set, you would have to, put it in a freezer to set and then take it out of the freezer when it was ready.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Any other questions?
Where can you get all of the ingredients for the pie?
So I got every single one of the ingredients at Stop and Shop, which is a local store close to me, and I'm sure you can get all the rest of the ingredients at a Walmart or a ShopRite or any other retail store in the area. Okay, thank you everyone for listening to my speech about pumpkin pie.